Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life with Lindsay. If I feel really close to the camera, it's because I am. Because I have all of this stacked up on my desk. And you're probably wondering, hey, Lindsay, why so much stuff? Or you don't care at all, and you're just like, I'm here because I clicked on whatever the thumbnail was. So if that's why you're here, thanks. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 kits to kit down. And that's a fun light right up there. I'm going to attempt to turn that one off, and I will be right back. And now we have shadows. Woo! This is the life of filming in an area that doesn't have good lighting and it being nighttime. I may have to turn that back on. We'll figure it all out. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Before I get into it, a few boring housekeeping tips. If you hear a noise directly to my left, I do have a fan running. I am recording this while the tiny human is sleeping. However, my husband is in the room, and he is very much working. So you will definitely hear husband noises. Say hi, husband.
Hello.
All right. So let's get into this, you guys. I will probably bring you down in the business so you guys can see what I'm doing a bit better. But I asked, and a few of you said you were interested in this. So I am going to be kitting down. Let's bring you guys down. So this was from the Seahorse that I did from Diamond Art Club. I've got my Alice in a Winter Wonderland. I got Alice in a bottle here. Alice from Royal Diamond painting there. And then a mystery painting that I did forever ago. And then underneath all of this, well, you can't see it, it's out of frame, will be the big box that I use for all of my storage. So, let's see if adjusting this ring light will make any bit of difference, or if it's just going to complicate things. What do we think, guys? Will it make it worse? Probably. I have a feeling this video is already going to be terrible. So, I've already picked through this container to find other containers to use. You guys... Containers. That's what our kiddo says. So, I will be using... I just use these little, like, Ziploc type bags. I got mine from Amazon. If I remember, I will link them down below. And, oh, I forgot a drill tray. I'll be right back. Okay, so, had to grab another drill tray, or a drill tray. I just need a tray with a spout. That's all I need. And as you can see, I had to turn the lights back on. So that's what that is. So what I will do is all right, let's rewind here. So I used washi tape. These are the Elizabeth Ward containers. I got mine off of Amazon. I did a video, if I remember, I'll link it in the eye. It was a comparison of the Elizabeth Ward containers versus the AliExpress knockoff. Let me tell you, I couldn't tell you which one is which, and I couldn't tell you which containers came from which. But what I will do is I will peel the washi off, and either, depending on how well it's sticking, I will stick it directly onto the bag, or I will peel the label off and stick it to the bag. And then the reason I said you need a drill tray, I'm just showing you guys this real quickly. And then I'm going to just get into going through these really quickly. Well, as quickly as I can for what I'm doing. And then just chatting with you guys. So there's a reason I'm kitting down basically every container that's not in use. Although, fun fact, I found when you guys started, did you use a certain container that you no longer use now? Because for me, that was the little pill boxes. Those containers were great for those 15 to 20 color kits that you had from Amazon, or a lot of those, like the China Mail, the drop ship sites. And, you know, and I'm not knocking that because I've gotten some really good quality stuff from there. You know, obviously the issue of theft exists. And if you are new to diamond painting, I would recommend that you do yourself a little bit of a favor and do some research. Because for many of us, the importance of finding legally licensed artwork and making sure the artists are paid, it's a really big deal, ethically. And then when you realize how rampant of an issue art theft is all over the world, yeah, it kind of makes you change your tune. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't think that these will stick on, you could take them off. I do have a Sharpie, and I can write, like I'll show you guys here, 3760. And I will do that. Now, if anyone is curious, the washi tape, I didn't originate that, but it was recommended to me. I want to say Cherry is the one who mentioned something to me. And if you're noticing, I'm starting at the last one first, and then I'm working my way up to the first one. That way, when I lay them on my desk, which I will show you, you can see they will be sequential. And then they will go in this box the way they are organized. So, anyway, what was I just saying? Oh, Cherry. So she had recommended to me using the washi tape because I was having difficulty getting the labels off, and I was just having difficulty with the stickers in general, and so this has actually worked out really well. Now, this one you can see like popped off immediately, so I might, you know what, I'm still going to put it on, and then I will just write this one on as well. And I've had people ask me, like, do you keep all of your drills? I mean, ones that are not DMC ones, I'm not going to keep. And then any that are, like, if I have a kit that has, like, piss poor quality drills, like, what's the point of keeping that? Okay, yeah, so this washi. Just going to grab, got some scissors here to just trim up the washi, see if that makes a difference. If not, nope. So this particular one may or may not end up having a sticker on it. We'll see. And this is part of the fun, right? Woohoo! I keep mine, like many other diamond painters, for the just in case. The rainy day, in case you need them, in case you spill them. Now, if you were unaware, Diamond Art Club does do a lifetime guarantee. So if you have an issue with your drills, they will replace them for you free of charge. You just contact our customer service. Some other companies I'm seeing are starting to do that as well. But whatever you're looking for, it's going to be specific to whatever it is you're looking for. So I am just working on all of these. And the reason I'm emptying all of my containers out, or as my kiddo says, Tainers. My mom got mad at me for that. She's like, you need to correct her. And I'm like, it's not that she's saying it wrong. I mean, she is saying it incorrectly. But I don't think my kiddo understands that she's missing part of the word. I think she just thinks the word is tainer. Whereas, what was the one? Like, right now she's saying Albuquerque as Albuquerque. Like, obviously she's saying that one incorrectly. But also, sometimes kids just say things and they're really adorable, you know? So anyway, I have, the canvas I'm currently working on is my Sparkle Queen Creations. And then after that, I will be doing Dawn by Distracted by Diamonds, or From Distracted by Diamonds by Geneva Bowers. So I need to have something I can kit that one up in. And then after that, I'm doing what I keep calling my super secret project. Eventually, you guys will see what it is, and it won't be that super secret. It does need a fair amount of drills or colors, so I need to empty as many of these containers that are not being used. Also, anyone else, kitting up to me is much more enjoyable than kitting down. I know some people don't enjoy any of it, so shout out to you guys that don't like it, but You're the real MVPs for those who like to kit down, because I do not find this nearly as enjoyable as the act of kitting up. Now, right now, it doesn't seem like a big deal because, like, all I'm doing is just emptying them and putting them into bags. But then all these bags have to go into this storage container. And I can't remember if I already said it or not, but I do have a video on how I store my drills. I'll also link that in the eye. If I've already done it, then it's already up there, I guess. So, how's everybody doing tonight? How are you doing tonight, husband?
I'm okay.
Okay. So, whoa, bless you. Bless you. My kiddo started saying bless you, and it's the cutest thing. She's like, bless you, mommy. So, I also have, I think it's Goo Gone wipes. I don't know. I bought them a couple Elizabeth Ward containers ago. I was having trouble. And as you can see, these pulled right off. But this one in particular, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's, well, there's a little bit of sticky from the washi. But that's one of the other reasons that I like using the washi tape. I can just put washi over it and keep going. But I think for my surprise project, I'm going to need a lot of the small containers. And it's going to be, I know it's going to be a time-consuming project for me to kit that one up. I will probably, depending on how it goes, attempt to do a kit up video. But I think I was starting the story and then I got sidetracked because I've gotten up and down like 4 times already. Hopefully it's seamless when you guys watch the video, but I did have to pause and stop the video a few times because I had to turn off the lights and then I had to turn on the lights and then, yeah.
Looks like a raven here.
Yeah, except for that it's just one blinding ring light and an ugly overhead yellow light. So one thing I will say is the lighting in this room is definitely not ideal. But this is where I do stuff, so. And for those who are not interested in the kitting down aspect of this video, I mean, just think of it as a whip and chat. If you guys don't know what a whip and chat is, it's where I work on whatever I'm working on and you work on whatever you're working on, and you can stream me in the background, you can work alongside, whatever it is you want to do. Now, I will say with this, I have done a few kitten chats. It's the exact same concept, but it's just while I kit up, kit down, and I talk. And I am going to assume that this is going to take me a while, so if that's the case, at one point I will probably just time-lapse the rest and insert it to, you know, relaxing music, if that's your thing. But I desperately needed to empty these. And this particular kit does not have a lot of colors, so that's good for kitting down. But for me, I remember when I first started and I got those pill bottle containers. And I think I was telling that story and then I got sidetracked. So if you've already heard this story, sorry. Hopefully, you don't mind hearing it again. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, they're the ones that have, I was going to say let me grab it, but that's over there. And I don't really want to pause and run and grab it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll try to insert a photo here. Editing Lindsay is going to be super annoyed that I am telling her to do all these things, because... Do you know where it is?
No.
Well, okay. So... Oh, hold on, I'm spilling drills. My husband's going to grab it for me, so... I just spilled drills everywhere. Over by the cubes. Yep, directly under the lamp. The cube directly under the lamp. The cube directly under it. The one all the way in the back, the little plastic container that has drills in it. Yes. Alright, so.
Not that. Damn it.
This is what happens when you have both of us in here. So these are the ones I'm talking about. Okay. They come with, each one is connected. And they're just like your daily pill bottles. And then the lids pop open. Okay. So the reason this is still sitting over there is because I have no idea what kit this is for. I don't know if this is a kit that I haven't started. It looks like it has to be because I have so many drills. I mean, comparatively. that I can't think of it as being, you know, leftover drills from something else. It just doesn't seem possible. I mean, it might be. In the beginning, when I first started, I got a couple of those inexpensive, like your fan cells, everyday e-deals, like those kinds of websites, and just bought a huge amount at a time because we were in the middle of a pandemic or in the beginning of a pandemic, and diamond painting was so hard to find anything you liked in stock, and to make the international shipping worth it, you just... Huh. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to have to pull that one to a side. And if you're wondering what I just did, I drew a question mark on it because I don't remember what color this is because somehow it ripped off. But the canvas is just in that room there, so I can just look at the canvas and see what I'm missing. So, yeah, this part's not so hard. It's the follow-up from after this where you have to put things away and they're all in order. Now, if you are just starting out and you're looking for a system, I will say I outgrew my original system very quickly. I use the baseball card sleeves, and if you haven't seen those, they're really easy. You take a literal baseball card sleeve, so they have 9 slots, and then in each slot, you put in a bag. That's great. But what happens when you start to get, you know, 15 bags of 310? They won't all fit in there. So... my husband comes bearing gifts for himself, not me. I was going to say, you come bearing heads, but I thought that would sound weird. So in case you guys don't know, my husband is the Data Monster. He customizes Funko Pops. All of his information is always left down below. But he put some sealant on a couple pieces, and he left them downstairs, so he had to go get them. Because tonight is his least favorite night in terms of, like, this is how I make a custom, and it is the night that he makes his boxes. They're already made. They're already printed, and so now he just cuts them and assembles them. If you did not know, when you're getting a custom pop from him, you're also getting a custom box, and everything is assembled by him. It's not, like, you know, mass-produced, obviously, if it's custom. But, so, I'm hoping to kit up Dawn so that as soon as I finish my Sparkle Queens, I can get that going, and also kit up my surprise project that I'm excited to share with you guys. I hope you guys like going with me on the journey. I just watched as Katie over at Diamonds and Washi just finished doing her Josephine Wall 220 color canvas, and if I remember, I'll either link her in the eye or down below. I'll probably put her information in the description box because I don't know how many things I'm going to say I'm going to link in the eye. And I learned there's a limit to that. Not surprised, but who knew? Although I am looking at my bag of bags here, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have enough bags. So,
Never let the word bag that many times.
Bag, 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 bag. So, yeah. I definitely spilled whatever color that was, and it's everywhere. 'Cause you're everywhere to me. I'm not going to keep singing Michelle Branch. Anyway, so, I'm trying to multitask, but also concentrate enough that, you know, I don't completely screw this all up. But I figure you guys like whipping chats. I like whipping chats. Who doesn't like a whipping chat? And, even though I still posted a whipping chat, and I'll probably still post another whipping chat. Oh god. You know what? That one looks like trash, so not a big deal. Ooh, you know what would be fun to do? Nobody asked, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I got a little handheld vacuum, and I think once I'm done with everything, excuse me, if I take the containers out so that I can wash them all off, that I can suck up all the little ones that got lost in the cracks. I don't know if you guys can hear my husband mocking me. He just said, oh, sounds like so much fun. He's like, do you want to help me with boxes? I was like, I got to record a video. Actually, I think my exact answer is no, not really.
I was about to say, yeah. You didn't even go into that. You're just like, no. Cool.
I know. And I only, when I help him, I only cut them. I don't assemble them, so they're not assembled with love from Life with Lindsay. They are assembled with love from Life with Lindsay's husband, though, if that's a selling point for anyone.
Partial hatred. I would say 70-30 love hatred.
Well, I don't know what people's thoughts are these days, babe. So, but if you are one of those people that goes, why do you save your drills? And I know I said earlier, like, for the just because, but there's also, you can do, like, DIY projects with them, or I had a friend who lost, like, an entire bag of drills, and she was like, do you happen to have, and I looked at my stash, and I had that color, but I think she needed rounds, and I only had squares, or vice versa. Look at these ABs. If you guys don't know what an AB drill is, it is the Aurora Borealis drills. They have that extra shiny coating on them.
I knew that.
And they sparkle. They really sparkle. And 141, you'll hear me say this, is definitely Diamond Art Club's favorite color because they use it in every single color, every single kit, it feels like. I got one the one day that had none, and I couldn't believe it. I also have gotten kits that don't have 310, and it blows my mind because I'm like, wait a minute. Kit I'm working on right now has no 310. And if you guys are new to the craft and you're like, what does all of this mean? 310 is the DMC code for black. So, we've got one case down. Move this out of the way. So I will do some sort of, test out that glue gun I have over there and see if that works. I know, right? And I would love to be like, oh, let me just do these smaller ones next, but I need the good cases. Are you two colors? Yes. All right, so we'll start with the bottom one first. So this canvas had 60 colors, so I used more than one Elizabeth Ward and or AliExpress container. I'm surprised that my husband doesn't have Tainer on permanent record over there.
I say it in my head every time.
Oh. Uno momento. So, this one is going to be a little bit more time consuming because this one, the DMC codes, I couldn't print them with the labels. So we are going to do this. So I'm gonna just label some of these bags. I'm gonna put in a time lapse here, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. So we are back. These are the only bags that I have left, so I may have to hold off on kitting down the other few till later. Let's see. So these are all now labeled, and now I just have to do the same thing to these that I did to the last ones. I'm just moving these out of the way. And then this one hopefully will be easy to maneuver. But you never know because I always have to double check to make sure that the numbers all line up. So like, oh no, Lindsay. I just did exactly what I was hoping I wouldn't have done. So I'm looking for... See, when you guys tune into a video of mine, you never know what you're going to get. Are you going to get the Hot Mess Express? 38. Well, look at me. I wrote the wrong number on the bag. This is going swimmingly well. Just turn that into a 3. That's what it needed to be. Anywho. So, I guess I don't really need to keep these stickers because, like, this doesn't do me any good. Although I just did it, so. Anyway, I feel like because I took that time that I'm going to be totally, like, Space Cadet over here and have zero idea where I was, where I ended up. So, if I repeat myself, I apologize. Got to double check the numbers are right. So, anyway, and I hope you guys didn't mind that quick little interlude of a time lapse there. I feel like that's probably the easiest way for me to do this without spending 15,000 hours recording this. And I know some people are like, why are you recording this? I mean, why not? You know, we're all kitting down at some point. I mean, some people just kit down directly into, like, a bottle. And I just realized, as I'm doing this, that I have one color that I didn't need to make a label for because I had nothing left. Have you guys ever run out of a color while doing a canvas? I did. And it was this canvas, if that statement wasn't obvious. And I had never had that happen before. And it was only, I think I was short like 4 drills maybe. So I was like, you know what, it's not a big deal. And I knew it was a color I had in my stash, which is, you know, part of the reason I do this. But it also was one of those things that I was like, it's like so close to the color next to it, nobody's going to notice the 4 drills that are a different shade. That's what confetti does. So, do you guys keep your leftover drills or do you toss yours? I feel like it's pretty split. Some people have no interest in organizing and doing all that stuff, and some people, this is their jam. You know? But I have a project that I'd like to do with leftover drills. I just have to see if I have enough. We'll see. We'll see. You know, in this box, I probably have like 20 bags, if not more. I probably have way more than that, of just 310. 310 alone. Because every canvas, like a Mandy Manzano, for example, that comes with so many containers of 310. It's unbelievable. And which one was it? Might have been the Bayou Lady. I had like 3 entire bags left of 310 at the end. And I didn't open them, obviously. I only opened what I needed at a time. So I filled up the big container, like the big Elizabeth Ward. And I think that holds 2 or 3 bags. I might be wrong. I think it holds 2 or 3 bags. And then when that started to get low, then I would just pour another bag into it. And I just kept doing that until I didn't need to anymore. Or I ran out. So, but I actually made this sheet here. I took a photo of the inventory sheet that was sent to me. Unfortunately, my sticker maker, and I use a Xyron, and I love it dearly, but I couldn't get the sticker with the number here, like the 51, the symbol, and then the DMC code. And I know some people don't care about the number here, but when you have 60 colors going, it's easier to look at the symbol and find, okay, that's number 51, than it is to look at the symbol and go, oh, that's 3822. I mean, some people, I'm sure, have different methods. Some people probably don't even care about the guide. They just, you know, kind of search for whatever works. But The other nice thing about keeping the labels on, if I can, is that with the washi tape, I can kind of tell which canvas I used it on. Like, this was for an Alice in Wonderland one, so it has the playing cards washi. That was a gift to me. Quick water break. Ooh, I'm gonna have to refill that soon. Alright, where are we at? K. And I'm double checking as I'm putting these in that these actually match up, because that would be the worst. So, I don't know what made me think of this. It literally has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But, are you guys friends with people you went to school with on, like, Facebook? You don't really interact with them, but you just see them in your feed. So there's this person that I went to high school with, and I don't know what their life is like, but let me tell you, they had the most extravagant wedding shower I had ever seen. Like, just a shower, not even the wedding. And then the wedding photos came, and I was like, oh my god, this is like black tie ripped out of a magazine. Well, they just had a baby. And I could not believe the level of decorations for, you know, welcome home to the baby. And then there was like a whole party for the welcome home. And I was like, wow. The last thing I wanted to do after coming home from the hospital was like put on a real dress and socialize. Which makes me wonder how like Kate Middleton and, well, Kate Middleton, I guess, really. Or people of that ilk, I should say. They have these babies, and then they take these photos because, you know, it's what the people want. And I'm like, I remember after having the baby, just being like, nope. Do I need to wear pants? Not really. Can I get away with just wearing a nursing bra or a t-shirt? You know what? It's my house. I'm going to do what I want. And just trying to be as comfortable as possible. These drills have major static. I don't know if you're seeing them like jumping everywhere. I've had some not so good luck with, you know what? You're dead to me, drill. With static recently. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, I'm not saying this to like mom shame or anything like that. I mean, first of all, in the middle of a pandemic, I wouldn't want a bunch of people. I don't care if they are my parents or my in-laws. I wouldn't want a bunch of people around a new baby. I didn't even want that when our kid was born, not in a pandemic. Also, we didn't know at the time she had an airway disorder, so had I known then, I probably would have been like, absolutely not. But it's just amazing to me. I'm like, wow, this is what like being a grown-up is like, I guess. Mind you, I am significantly older than her. And her husband. Well, I don't know how old the husband is, but it's just one of those things. I was like, wow. But it's a friendly reminder as I say that don't compare your life to anyone else's on the internet, because let me tell you, when you see those perfect photos and you see the amazing vacations and the my life is perfect every single day, that's what you're seeing for social media. It's not really what life is like. And for anyone who needs that gentle reminder today that it's okay to not be okay, here it is from me, from Life with Lindsay. And I am here to tell you, like, I'm going to mark where I stopped so I don't lose my train of thought. That's why filters exist. So you can make that facade. Nobody's life is perfect all of the time. Nobody's. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be a billionaire and your life isn't perfect all of the time.
You could be data monster.
Whoa. Those are fighting words.
I know. People probably think.
Your life is perfect.
Yeah, I get to live with you all day.
I know. That's perfection
People
right there.
I'm shocked.
But no, seriously, I know a lot of people, especially young people, they tend to, or younger people, I should say, they tend to see their value and their worth based off of likes and comments and things like that. And, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't obsessively check my status on like YouTube Studios to see if I got new followers that day or if I got any new comments, because I love interacting with you guys. And for me, I'm putting a lot into making these videos, and if you are not a creator and then one day you decide to be, you will have one of those oh shit realization moments where you're like, I had no idea how much goes into something simple. Because if you think about it, let's say I'm recording a 15-minute video. Okay, let's say we're talking about a basic thing here. I then have to make an intro and an outro. I then have to fill out the description box, link things in the eye, put in the end screen, link it to different playlists, whatever. If I want to be fancy, make a nice thumbnail for it. And it takes a long time. So that 15-minute video, and then you save it, you process it and upload it, and that can take 2-3 times as long as what you're working on. So let me tell you, when I do like the hour-long whipping chats, oh my gosh, that's like a 3-hour process to just get it off my phone and onto the internet. 45, where am I at? Okay. So 996, okay, good. This is where I got to the oh, I mixed everything up stage. But please remember, and this, again, this is not meant to be like a shaming or a judging, but just remember that nobody's life is perfect, and when you're seeing those perfect lives, you're seeing what they want you to see. I was watching a little reel from one of the parenting blogs that I enjoy, and she was showing, like, this is what you guys see. And she was all made up and, you know, doing her video. And then she panned and, like, sweatpants on the bottom. And then she panned over to the side. And it looked like most people who have children, it looked like most of their houses. It looked like a bomb exploded. And there was toys everywhere and just mess everywhere. And she was like, all you need is that little corner to look like your life is put together for everyone to think it is. And she's so right, because there's so many people who, to take a simple photo, are going to stage it. They're going to use filters. They're going to put on makeup. They're going to do this. And if you love doing that, by all means, like, do what makes you happy. But don't measure your worth and your value based off the number of likes that photo gets, or the number of comments you get. I mean, I definitely get bummed when I work really hard on a video and it tanks. Thanks. But I've also come to learn what type of videos do better than others on my channel, which I think everybody kind of knows what it is people like to see on whatever content they offer. And that does make it a little bit less stingy when you know it's not a video that typically does well and it, you know, only gets X amount of views. But I know that who I am as a person, like who Lindsay really is, like not just Life with Lindsay, but who Lindsay is not based off of how many people gave my video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or how many times it was viewed. And I think that's a really important perspective to just, no matter who you are, to always just keep that in the back of your mind. And especially if you are having one of those days. So I am overdoing it with this one. This is going to be one that spills. You heard it here first, you guys. It is 9:39. That's what I thought it was. So, I am on the hunt. And I don't know when this video is going up. I don't know. The way it works for me, I know I always tell you guys I have no schedule. And I don't have a schedule. But if I film something, most of the time I'm also filming something else the same day. If I can, within reason. Obviously, I don't always have the availability to film a bunch of different videos in a row. Or I want to sit down and film, but my kid is acting like Tarzan and making, like, you guys hear her. But there are some days where I'm like, okay, I just can't film. And that's the truth. Or I'll plan on filming, but then Brian and I needed to fix something in the kitchen, or you know, do adult housework, or you know what I mean, like just, or sometimes I think, okay, this will be the day that I'm going to film, and then I have no motivation, or my phone is dying, or I just have other things going on, or I just want to take a nap. So sometimes I can get a lot accomplished in one day, and sometimes I can't. And if you guys have zero interest in what I'm rambling about, I do apologize. This is going to be, like, all over the place. This kidding down story time with me, your host, Life with Lindsay, and my co-host, the always lovable Data Monster. Actually, he's concentrating and, working pretty hard over there. But yeah, I don't know what just made me go off in that little tangent. But so while I don't have a schedule, sometimes I know, like, oh, it's been a while since I posted a whip and chat. Let me activate that one. So even if I have a couple videos, like, pre-recorded, I can go in at any time and I can schedule them. So I can be like, oh, this one will pop up on Monday and I'll make this one come up on Tuesday. I know there are a lot of people out there who, they put up videos like 5 to 7 times a week. And if that works for them, that's great. I have found if I put up too many videos in a row, people aren't really watching any, like, they're watching one but not the other, or one might do well and it's at the sacrifice of another. I tend to find that. And I don't know that that's true for all creators, or if that's specific to the audience who finds me and subscribes to me and watches me, or, you know, anything like that. But I do know that I try to space them out a little bit, so that if you're somebody who wants to binge watch a few, it's not like you got one this week and then you've already seen last week's video. But I try not to overload them. So there's some times where I'll have a video sitting in my queue, as long as it's not time sensitive, for a while. I had one that it was like a for a rainy day kind of video where I didn't have anything else to talk about, or I didn't have anything new to show. I've mentioned before, and if you guys are new here, well, welcome. I hope that you'll stay. But I've mentioned here before that I personally don't want to do a whole lot of unboxings unless it's something that I'm like, I have to show this right now, or that I plan on working on in the near future. I'm one of those people that if you're like, this is a project I'm going to be working on, I'd like to see it be worked on, and then I'd like to see the final result. I don't want to just see the unboxing to just see the unboxing, unless it's a company, you know, I'm interested in finding out information on. But like Diamond Art Club, for example, there are, at any given time, I'm guessing thousands of videos for a Diamond Art Club unboxing. And that's great. And I'm not knocking that, because I have plenty of Diamond Art Club unboxings on my channel. But I'm just saying that, you know, I try to make it so that if I'm showing something, that it's not going to be the first and the last time you guys see it. And if there is any content that you guys would like to see, please let me know. Ouch. Down below. I'm going to get my next pile. Alright. So, where are we at? 890.
I keep thinking you're talking about the time. You're like 9:14. I'm like, what? No, it's not.
No. My bags got all out of order here. You know, exactly what I said I didn't want to have happen. So, bear with me, guys. $310, $340, $645. Alright. Oh, I got it. It wasn't that hard, you guys. Well, at least not this time. So, I'm going to keep going. And then I desperately need to put those in the box. In the box. Do, 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 in the box. Actually, I think I'm going to do that now. Just put these, because I'm running out of space on the table. If you guys are still here, I love you. So, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to get back to the rest of those in a moment. Sorry, I'm trying to be very careful. So, the nice thing about doing it the method that I was doing is that these are already in order. So, let's see. Okay, of course I opened my box the wrong direction, so. So for me, personally, I put all of my ABs down in the back here. Alright. Trying not to knock anything over, sorry. If I had opened this the proper direction, that probably would have helped. So, what I'm going to do here is I have previously made tabs. And like I said, I had that video, I linked it, so that they alternate, and I wrote the DMC color code for every existing color. And what I will do is, like this is 310, and I will toss in 310. So you can see all of this in here is 310. And I've had people ask me, like, well, why don't you mix them together? And the problem with that is that you have different dye lots. So while 351 may look like this right now from this particular kit, if it comes from another printing of it, the shade might be slightly different, which may be fine for some things, but other things you want to keep.
That's interesting.
Is it?
Yeah. No, seriously.
The data monster finds that interesting. It's the same thing with yarn, like embroidery floss and stuff like that as well.
That makes sense, because there was a color I was looking up. Remember the color? I don't even remember what it was. That somebody told me they wanted on their box.
Okay.
I was like, I've never heard of that color. But when I looked up the color, it was this. They're like, oh, it's the same as DMC color.
Yeah, and then I pulled that up. I don't know if you guys just heard him. Somebody had said they wanted a certain color on their box, and they gave him the DMC code. And then I'm pretty sure I pulled out my box to see if I had it, and then I didn't, and we just looked it up. But if I use, like if I were to use this bag, let me pull you guys up a little bit. I would empty it and reuse it. My biggest issue that I have with diamond painting, and again, these are all like personal things, you know, and I'm not telling you that because this is something that's crossing my mind that it needs to be crossing yours, but the one thing that drives me nuts is the amount of waste. So the bags aren't biodegradable. Every canvas comes wrapped in plastic. Every aspect of it is plastic. It's a lot of plastic in our oceans. And I would love a company to be more eco-friendly and sustainable. Like, okay, here we go. These are two colors. Yeah, they look the same. That was a terrible example.
Do you feel they use that much plastic because it's affordable or because it's...
It depends.
best?
So I don't know if you guys can hear him or not. He said, do I think that they're using it because it's affordable or it's best? I think that... So when you're getting from companies that do the 200 drill bags, those are the ones that have the really thin chains that are like this big. That's the way their machines function. And like Diamond Art Club does the much larger size bags. No matter what you do, somebody's going to say it's wasteful because then they're going to go, well, you're filling up a big plastic bag with only a few drills. But the drills also aren't, you can't do anything with them. Like if you throw them away, they are taking up space in the landfills and not, you know, disintegrating. Although there is a company that had, I want to say they were like water soluble. I don't really have the information, but I remember somebody talking about it and I was like, wow, it's amazing. But the kits are like 3 times as much money. They're using, you know, different materials. I understand that. So this is by far my least favorite part of working on a diamond painting. It's the time-consuming process of doing what I'm doing now, and then 37.
So do you find most people do what you do, or do you find most people...
I don't know. I mean, I don't really... What do you guys do? Do you keep your drills? Yes or no? If you do, what kind of method do you use to store yours? And for anyone who is curious, this box is actually for baseball cards. My husband had one day that I was looking at. I was like, do you have an extra one of that? He's like, I do. And he just gave it to me. It was super easy. Put it together in like 2 minutes. I've seen people do like beautiful boxes.
When you get those boxes, they can let you know, and I know the site to go to get them.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
I meant for other people.
Oh, I'll link it down below. So, I thought you were saying like you wanted to like on the fly buy me the boxes, and I was like, I like the system I have.
No, I was saying if other people are interested in getting those boxes.
Gotcha.
They're about $6-8 a piece. They're not.
I don't know if you guys can hear him. A lot of times when I record and he talks, it's like dead air basically. So, oh, and now I'm doing this one backwards. So, 38, 63. Now, if they come out with like new DMC codes, I will have to add them in, which, you know, isn't super fun, but I already have extras cut. And I just use note cards. So I will say, I'm going to just redo the direction of which my stuff is right now, because this makes it easier. Anyway, back to the drawing board. And if you get drills from different companies, like, they might be slightly different shades, depending on where they're manufacturers. Now, it's pretty well known that, you know, a lot of these companies use the same manufacturers as other companies, so it's not like... I'm sure there are some, but most of them aren't with their own independent printers. 37, 46. And if you guys do this process, or if you would like to do this process, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's quick and easy. It's to set this up took quite some time. But now that it's set up, it takes very little time to actually sort my drills and put them away, and I think that's fantastic. Now, I'm sure eventually one day I'm going to be like, I don't need all of these drills and I don't know what to do with them. If you guys have extra materials that you don't know what to do with, you can always contact your local library or elementary school. Some senior centers will do it as well. Maybe now things are different with the COVID restrictions, but I mean, if you're watching this in the future or they don't exist, the restrictions, not the future, you can donate a lot of the supplies, like the boats and the pens and the drills, and they will use them for school projects or, you know, to do...
Boys and Girls Club. They take them too.
Do they?
Yeah, they do baseball cards. They still do. So if the COVID restrictions aren't there for baseball cards, they're not going to be there for drills.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that.
Boys and Girls Club is another one, he said, so... And I'm sure, you know, if you live somewhere that you have like a local mom's page or parents page or dad group on Facebook, you can always ask in there too, is anybody in need of these? There are people on multiple Facebook groups who will say, hey, I need this color or I need this color. Just be smart with what you're doing, because there are definitely people out there who are trying to get lots of things for free. It's different if somebody says, hey, do you have X, Y, and Z color? It's then, hey, I'm looking for this color, and this color, and this color, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So, doing the same thing with these drills. But again, it's not my place to tell somebody what to do with their stuff. So if that works and you're like, sure, you want 45 colors of mine, I'll give them to you. Then by all means, you know. I just know that's a question, especially with newer diamond painters. They get asked, you know, like, what's the point? Okay. So then the last little bit that I have to do will all be this front section. So that worked out well. Okay. 900, 902. And I think because this video is probably going to be close to an hour, I will either add the last little bit as another timestamp. Time lapse, thank you. Oh, guys, my brain. Or I will just end the video. I guess we'll see. We're almost there. Let's keep chatting. Let's not worry about the future. And by the future, I mean like 2 minutes from now. I mean, or any, you know what? You do you. You worry about what you want to worry about, and, you know. I love this color, $9.95, so let's grab the remaining bits, if I can get them out. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to time-lapse the rest of this. So, in case that's not your thing, I will say thank you for joining us. And if that is your thing, then enjoy this. And for those who are leaving the video now, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one.